Hello, hello. All right, today's practice, legs. Yeah, it's a bit of a nuanced practice, and we're gonna focus on what does it mean to straighten your leg. Funny enough, in order to straighten the leg, we're also gonna bend it in all sorts of different ways. And my hope is that this particular practice will refresh your legs and maybe even refresh your state of mind. So there may be a connection there. Okay, I hope you enjoy the practice. And yeah, let's go. Let's get to it. Okay, what I'd like to start with is a little study on what is a straight leg. Okay, so what you'll need is to be able to sit, and if you have legs that hyperextend, right? If you can hyperextend in the knee joint, then, which I fall into that category, take something. I have these little pads just to fill the space behind your knees. If you don't have something that resembles this random pad, you could take the corner of a blanket. So just this blanket here, I just turn it so literally just the corner slips under there, and that fits. It fits in quite nice. A washcloth can be really, really nice. You can fold it in a perfect way, similar to these pads. So just take a second and collect that for yourself. If you're very stiff and straightening your legs at all is, a challenge, then you don't need this extra piece, this extra prop, okay? But if you do, please go ahead and get yourself that. And then the other thing, just to set this up, is to figure out what are you going to sit on. So if you're able to sit on the floor like this, and the sacrum here, right? So now my sacrum is out, and I'm kind of towards the back of my tailbone. If you can sit on the floor and move the sacrum and the lower back into the body and up, right? And perch yourself up on the very top of your buttock bones, then stay on the floor, sit on the floor. Okay, but depending on some of the stiffness in your hips, your pelvis, there's various reasons that might not be available. Okay, it does require the muscles back here to be strong, right? It's hard to hold sometimes. So if you feel you're rolling back, then take some height. But what I'd like to try here is as minimal height, right? So start maybe with one blanket or a folded towel and just sit on the very front edge, okay? So each buttock bone is round and like a golf ball, right? And you can sit on the center of it, the front of it, the back of it. I want you to find your buttock bones as you're on this blanket, and then can you see what I'm doing? I'm literally rolling. So I'm on the edge of the blanket here. Okay, I'll start again. I'm on the edge of the blanket, I'm on the blanket, and now I'm rolling on my buttock bones, right? So that now the blanket is kind of catching the front of my buttock bone, and it's pulling this way, the buttock flesh back this way. And in doing that, it's helping to get that shape in the lower back that I want. Now, again, every modification is not for everybody. So truly for somebody like me, where I can very easily overdo the lumbar action, I wouldn't use this setup for myself. But, I just want to show how to do it, okay? And if you try the one blanket and it's still not enough, then go higher, okay? It's just something to experiment with. Okay, now that you've got your setup, sit in Dandasana, like so, but separate your legs a little bit, okay? Now, if you're seated up on some height and you're unable to reach the floor, right, with your hands, then put something behind you. So it could be another blanket, a bolster, a couple bricks, but make sure that your fingers can touch, using a cupped finger here, and have a little bit of a bend in the elbow. Okay, and then sit tall here. Okay, now, again, those of you with the hyperextended knees, take your pads or your rolled towel, whatever you're using, and place it in behind the back of your knee. Okay, now we're gonna do one leg at a time. So starting with your right leg, flex your foot and lift the heel right off the ground. Okay, flex the foot, pull your toes towards you, and reach into your heel. Now with your foot flexed like this, straighten your leg completely. So open your knee, press your thigh down, extend into the heel again. Okay, at the same time here, remember, sacrum in, back ribs in and up, lift your chest, shoulders back. Okay, now maintaining what you've set up here for this leg. Knee down, thigh down, reach into your heel, keeping this absolutely straight. Now reach your heel so far and try to lay the heel back on the ground, but don't let this knee bend. Lay it further away than it was before, but don't let this knee bend as you lower the leg down. And observe the sensations here. Observe what happens. Feel the engagement in your thigh. Feel the front of the thigh, back of the thigh. Observe what's going on. Okay, release. Second side, so now the left leg. Okay, you know where we're headed here. So again, flex the foot, lift the heel off the ground, and with your heel lifted, straighten that leg completely. Press your knee down, press your thigh down. Okay, now make the back of your leg longer than the front of your leg. Really reach into the heel. And as if you could lay the heel further along the mat, further that way than it was before, slowly lower your heel to the mat, but without letting the leg bend at all. Notice what happens to that thigh, how it starts to pop up. Press it down. Press the top of the thigh, mid-thigh, bottom thigh, right? All the full length of the thigh down. Deflate your thigh. Okay, release. Okay, one more time, one leg at a time here. Like so. Okay, flex the right foot, pull the toes towards you, straighten this leg. Press your knee down, thigh down, maintain this. Make the back of your leg longer, longer, longer. Reach into the heel, start to lower the heel to the ground without letting the knee bend. Without letting the knee bend. Open up the back of the leg here. Feel it, observe, see what's going on, and then release. Okay, second side. Flex your left foot. Pull your toes towards you, pull them towards you, and straighten completely. Okay, inner knee, outer knee, push it down. Press your thigh down. Okay, make the back of your leg long, reach into the heel, reach as if you could lay the heel further ahead than it was before. Slowly start to lower the heel back down without bending your knee at all. Without bending your knee at all. And feel the engagement that comes. Observe the response. Okay, and then release. Pause here. Okay, next, create a setup similar to this. I've got 2 blankets and I've intentionally folded them so that they're wide but not very deep. Okay, so I've done 2 half-folded blankets and then a little bit of height behind, and how much height you need will depend a little bit on your proportion, the length of your arms, the length of your torso. But essentially, you want to sit on your setup, and you're going to separate your legs as wide as your mat. I'm just clearing the flesh right where the back of the thighs and the buttocks connect there, outward. Okay, and then can you touch your setup, right? So I've got the bolster behind me. Can you touch yours without leaning? Right? So if I were to put my hands on the floor, I'd have to lean back in order to do that, right? So you want to find enough height there so that you can have your hands touching something, roll your shoulders back, and sit really tall. Okay, now from here, your legs are straight, right? So, send your mind into your legs and feel what it's like to have these straight legs. We just previously did that work, right, of flexing the heel, pressing the knee down, thigh down. So just take a second to observe whether your thighs are engaged similarly to before, right? Likely not. Okay, notice if it's easier or harder for you to access the lower leg, the upper leg. Where are you alert and where are you dull? Okay, so much of yoga is about bringing awareness to areas where there isn't, right? So start to catch for yourself these kinds of things. Okay, and we'll come back to this. So now we're going to do a little bit of bending in the knee and see where that takes us. So keeping your left leg absolutely straight, okay? And again, if you do have that hyperextension in the knee, and you know it's not under control, you're more than welcome to place that underneath your knee like so, okay? Now, keeping that left leg straight, bend your right knee, Marichyasana. Straighten your leg again. Okay, so now you're going to do that a few times, and as you bring the leg in, what I want you to think about is where you are on your buttock bones. So remember at the beginning we talked about rolling on the buttock bones? Don't roll. Perch yourself up on your buttock bones, right in the center. Okay, stay there, and now again, right leg, Marichyasana. Sit tall. Pound your right heel into the floor, and as you press your right heel into the floor, penetrate this groin, right? Dig deep into there, and from this buttock bone, go deeper into the blanket. And then again, extend the leg to straight. Okay, right leg again, Marichyasana, pound the heel, don't lean back. Sacrum in and up, low back, in and up, back ribs, in and up, sit really tall. As strongly as you press your heel into the floor, shoot that groin into the buttock bone into the setup. Okay, extend the leg. Okay, now you're gonna do the second side. Okay, so if, you know, don't mess with these if you don't need them, right? If you're able to control it right now, because we're gonna be switching back and forth, but if you do, then have it in place. Okay, it's totally up to you. All right, so now left leg. Keep the right leg straight and left leg, Marichyasana. Pound your heel into the floor and deepen this groin. Shoot the buttock bone down and then straighten the leg. And once again, Marichyasana. Pressurize your heel. Okay, don't use your hands. So don't use your hands to pull the leg in. With your hands behind you, you can use your hands to help yourself sit taller and taller. Okay, back body in towards the front body. Okay, left leg, right leg is straight and left leg, Marichyasana. Press it down, press your heel down, and then straighten the leg again. Okay, now let's build on this sequence a little bit further. Okay, so now right leg, Marichyasana. Press your heel down. Deepen that groin. Okay, now from here, you're gonna roll onto the very edge of your foot here. Okay, small toe and the outer heel pressing the floor. It's a very wide Badhakonasana. Okay, deepen the hip socket, externally rotate your thigh. Press the edge of the foot down, turn your thigh out. Come back to Marichyasana, pressurize the full plate of your heel into the ground and extend your leg. Same side again, okay? Marichyasana, pound the heel. Roll onto the outer edge of the foot, sharply press, deepen the hip socket, externally rotate. And then back up to Marichyasana, extend the leg. Last time this side, Marichyasana, sit tall, roll to the outside edge of the foot, keep the whole edge, outer heel, small toe touching, turn your thigh out, any amount. And then back up to Marichyasana, pound the heel, don't take the floor for granted. Press down, and then extend the leg. Okay, second side here. Left leg, Marichyasana. Pressurize your foot, your heel especially. Now roll onto the outside edge of the foot, the entire edge there. Deepen the hip socket, externally rotate, turn the thigh. And then come back to Marichyasana, press the full plate of the heel down into the ground, and then extend the leg. Okay, keep going. 2 more times here. Left leg, Marichyasana. Pound the heel, deepen this groin, shoot the buttock bone down into the setup, and then roll onto the edge of the foot, rotate your thigh out, Badhakonasana, back up, Marichyasana, and extend the leg. Okay, one more time. Marichyasana, Badhakonasana, Marichyasana, Dandasana. Okay. Good. Now from here, we add one more pose. Okay, so from here, it's going to go like this. Okay, we can go together here. Ready? Marichyasana, right leg. Roll onto the outside edge of the foot. Badhakonasana, turn that thigh out. Back up to Marichyasana. Now here, carefully hold the ankle, take the foot back into virasana. I've got my ankle supported by these blankets, hand on the height behind you, and lift up into a purvottanasana action, right? So the head can go back, but move the buttock up and stretch the front of your virasana thigh. And then come back down and come back into Marichyasana. Extend the leg to straight. Okay, so 2 more times, adding this virasana action. All right, sit tall. Marichyasana, right leg. Roll onto the outside edge of the foot, Badhakonasana. Back up to Marichyasana. Hold the ankle, take the leg back, immediately lift up, purvottanasana action. Buttock up to the ceiling. Stretch the front of your right thigh. And then back down, come out, virasana, Marichyasana, and then straighten the leg. Okay, one more time here. Marichyasana, Badhakonasana, Marichyasana, virasana, and then lift up. Purvottanasana, stretch, mid-buttock in and up, and then back down. Marichyasana, Dandasana. Okay, 3 times now on the left leg. Okay, ready? Marichyasana, Badhakonasana, and each pose with intention, so don't be casual about it. Edge of the foot, really press. Rotate your thigh out. Come back to Marichyasana. And now virasana, immediately lift up. Press your buttocks up, head back, stretch the front of the left thigh, and then back down. Marichyasana, Dandasana. Okay, again, Marichyasana, Badhakonasana, Marichyasana, virasana, purvottanasana, be with it for a moment, and then come back, Marichyasana, Dandasana. Okay, and Dandasana, remember the work that we did. Remember a little bit of resistance at the lower leg and press those thighs down. Okay, last time, Marichyasana, Badhakonasana, Marichyasana, virasana, and then purvottanasana. Buttock up, stretch the front of the thigh, head back, come back down, Marichyasana, Dandasana, and pause here. Okay, now let's take Badhakonasana proper, so to speak. Okay, fold your knees out to the side here, rotate the thighs out. But in terms of your height here, use it again the way we used it at the very beginning. So you're gonna pump yourself really far forward. And those of you who can sit on the floor, by all means, again, keeping that sacrum, that back body, the lower back in to the body. Otherwise, what I'm doing right here is just sitting right on the front edge, like I'm practically off. Okay, and understand that, you know, your ability to sit with straight legs may or may not be the same as your ability to sit in Badhakonasana. Okay, so the challenge of the paraspinal muscles and the ability to keep the torso upright, it's different, right? It can change. So check that out for yourself. Decide if you want to use height here or not. and be in Badhakonasana. Okay, now again, depending on how high you're sitting and the length of your arms, your torso, you may be able to reach your big toes here like I'm showing, or maybe not, right? But the idea here is to reach them without having to lean forward. So if you can hold them and then again sit upright, then go ahead. Okay, but if that's not within the realm of reason, then maybe keep your hands behind you, like so, and sit tall in this way. Okay, now press your feet together, but see if you can start flaring the foot open, spreading, right, from the small toe side to the big toe side here on the bottom. Open up, like you want to lay the big toenail on the ground. Okay, open your feet and just let your knees here gravitate towards the floor. Okay, you can do this still with your arms behind you, or you can hold the big toes, either way. Okay, but in both presentations, open the foot. Spread and open. And can you start to lay the shin bones down, 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 down. Okay, breathe here. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and just be with this Badhakonasana. Okay, now we're going to add a twist. Okay, so now from here, you're going to go to the right side. So take your left hand and just from the groin to the middle of your thigh. So just this top portion here, like you could spread it, right? You're moving it away from you to try to help get this lower leg to go down. Okay, now with the back hand, take it behind you, but then walk it as far back around as you can. Okay, and twist yourself to the right. Twist around. Turn your abdomen. Turn your rib cage. Roll your right shoulder back. And then continue to press with your left hand that leg down. Okay, and then release and come back to the center here. Pause here, breathe, feel the effect of this twist. And then we'll go to the second side. Okay, if you feel you need to give your groins a rest, of course, you can fold your knees together, extend your legs to straight. And then we'll prepare for the second side. And just here on the second side, I'll show you what I mean with the hands, so that you can see. Okay, so you're gonna go to the left side here this time. And again, you go forward, make sure that you're seated upright, and just be here for a second. Okay, so start to open up the feet like a book, spread and open. Now you're twisting to your second side. You're going to go to the left, and the back hand here, see I've got it here, but then start to walk it as far back, right, towards my right buttock. Okay, so you're not leaning back here. It has to be close enough that you can get a little bit of rebound, right? I push the fingers to even further encourage this lower back to go into the body. But then to deepen the twist, I can start to walk the hand even further around. Okay, and then with the right hand, press from the groin to the middle thigh and lower that leg down. Turn yourself. Okay, keep at it. Okay, and then release. Okay, fold your knees together, extend your legs to straight, and pause here. All right, let's do this again. And you can either repeat exactly what we've just done one more time, or if you want to challenge your Badhakonasana a little more, challenge the hips, the groins, have a brick. Okay, take a brick, keep it nearby. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the brick and place it between your feet. Okay, so like so. And then again, come to your position. So with this wider Badhakonasana, I find it's even more challenging to be on the very center of the buttock bones. Right? Tend to roll back. So you may find the height is helpful here, but check it out and come forward. Okay? Breathe and just give yourself a moment to absorb this new shape. Okay, now same like before, small toe edge of the foot is towards the brick, and then can you start to open your feet up? Open up. I'm going to move my hands out of the way so you can see better. Okay, lay the big toes, the big toenail down on the rubber. Okay, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, open up. Deep in the hip sockets there, externally rotate. And let the knees gravitate to the ground. Breathe. Okay, now again, going to the right side. Take the left hand across, and you're not really interfering with the knee, but just this top part here. Groin to the mid-thigh, lengthen, and then take your right hand behind you and turn yourself. As you inhale, lift. Exhale, turn more. Okay, and then walk your back hand further around and maximize your twist. Okay, let the left leg also descend. Don't let it, accidentally raise up really high. Keep it low and turn. Okay, and then release. Come back to the center. Okay, reestablish your Badhakonasana. Spread those feet, sit really tall. And now going to the left. Exhale, and then right hand across, left hand behind you, and turn. And see if you can, start to gauge where you are in space. Can you keep the spine in the center, but then turn around your own spine? Revolve. Okay, walk that back hand further back, 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 and then with your right hand, spread that inner thigh. From the groin to the mid-thigh, lengthen it and turn. Roll your left shoulder back, revolve. Okay, and then release. Remove the brick. Carefully fold your knees and then extend your legs to straight. Be here. Okay, take a second, observe your legs, observe the sensations, the vibrations. Feel where you're alert, where you're dull. Take notice. Okay, and then again, release. Okay, next let's go into a sequence of Supta padangusthasana. Okay, we'll start lying down in Supta Tadasana and set yourself up here close to a wall so that you can have a reference at the bottom of your feet. Okay, and just as you would in a standing Tadasana, be here in Supta Tadasana. Okay, spread across the soles of your feet. Pound your heels into the wall and straighten your legs. Okay, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Supta Tadasana. Okay, now observe your legs here. Feel if they're straight, right? Feel what it's like, the experience of straightening your legs here in the lying down position. Okay, and then you've got the wall here like a floor. When you're standing up, the floor is touching the bottoms of your feet, so here the wall is doing that job. But you also have the reference of the actual floor for your back body. So just take a second here to really feel that and see, particularly on the leg side, because that's what we're focused on today, see where the floor is actually touching you and where is there not yet really a connection, right? Okay, notice how the top of the thighs, the top back part of the thighs there might not be touching. And let's see if we can deflate the thighs a little more, right? So front of the legs towards the back of the legs, press down, and see if you can try to minimize that space there underneath the back of your thighs. Okay, be with this for a moment. And again, the experience of straightening your legs. What's going on for you? Which part of the leg is engaged, alert, which part is not? Okay, now keeping your left leg where it is, bend your right leg and hug the leg in. Okay, bend it and hug it in, kind of padangusthasana. Okay, now as you do that, straighten your left leg even more. Okay, so as you bend the right leg, are you able to access the left leg in a slightly different way? Broaden the back of your left thigh and press your thigh down. Okay, the floor is going to give you some resistance to the calf, to the shin there. Okay, so thigh down. Focus on that part of the leg. Release and go for the second side. Okay, bend the left leg, hug it in, and as you hug the left leg in, straighten the right leg even more. See if you might be able, right in here, to get a little bit more access. Okay, broaden the back of your thigh. Remember the work that we did by lifting the heel, extending into the heel, and then pressing really strongly down. Breathe into it. Okay, and then release. And again, come back to Supta. Okay, now, kind of building on this same idea here, you'll go for Supta Padangusthasana 1. Okay, have a strap, make like a medium-sized loop here. And then as you draw your leg towards you, take the loop from the back, right? So I've put it on my heel, and now as I straighten the leg up, I've got one portion of the strap right behind the calf. Okay, because I want you to create that resistance for the lower leg, even when your leg is upright here like this. Okay, and now again, same focus. Can you resist the lower leg, but really pressurize the thigh in that direction? Okay, so think back to the work that we did. Pull the toes towards you of your lifted leg. Reach up into your heel. Okay, open the knee, open the thigh, and then move the bulk of the thigh away from you. And then keeping that thigh engaged, maybe you can start to extend the toes again a little bit. Supta Padangusthasana 1. Okay, now also take your focus to your left leg, and same thing, can you get that thigh to deflate? Okay, and again, be with the experience of your straight legs. What does this mean for you? What part of the leg are you taking for granted, right? Okay, let's go for the second side here. Okay, so bend your left leg, and coming in from behind, hook one part of your strap on the heel, and the second part just here on the bottom of your calf. Okay, and you can hold the strap with two hands like so. And bring the leg just 90 degrees. So, don't yank it too close towards you. Instead, focus on pressing the leg away from you. Okay, now for a moment, go back to the right leg. Okay, broaden the back of the thigh and press the bulk of the thigh down. So again, can you work to minimize the space here behind your thigh? Press down. Okay, on this lifted leg, take your focus, your attention back to some of the general principles that we've been working with, some of the techniques, the principles, right? And pull your toes towards you. And as you do that, open the back of your knee, open the back of your thigh, keep that level of engagement, move your thigh away from you even more, and then slowly start to extend the toe mounds up again. Okay, feel what's going on here. Are you able to use that technique to bring a different level of awareness, a different level of sensitivity, of engagement to different portions, different regions of your leg? All right, and then release. And again, Supta Tadasana. Be here for a moment. Okay, and then bend the right leg and come to where we've left off. Okay, so you've got your right leg up, left leg extended, and then pull the toes towards you, open the knee, open the thigh, and then slowly extend the toe mounds back up. Okay, the bulk of the thigh here, the bone, if you think about the thigh almost like a container, the bone is inside in the middle. Can you glide the bone further away from you inside that container? Let's see if that makes sense. All right, now going for Supta Padangusthasana 2. Take hold of both sides of your belt in your right hand and keeping your mind in your left side. So left hip, left buttock heavy, left thigh heavy. Maintain that going down and extend your leg over to the right side. Over to the right side. Okay, keep the leg just about at 90 degrees. So again, don't lift it all the way up towards your ear, but just coming straight out and extend. Roll your abdomen back to the left, extend into your right heel. Okay, now again, move the knee away, thigh away, and see if you're able to maintain that level of engagement, not just in the lower leg, but the thigh, the upper leg. Okay, inhale, raise the leg back up, and then again, release. Okay, lower yourself down. And then let's go for the second side. Okay, I'm just making my strap actually a little longer because if you can adjust it in such a way that you'll be able to rest your elbow on the floor, that's also kind of nice. All right, so from behind, you've got that support for the calf muscle, support the strap also on your heel, straighten both legs. And by this point in the practice, the instruction straighten your leg should trigger all sorts of mini instructions, right? Straighten the leg is not just one thing. It actually involves all sorts of things. So break that down for yourself. Okay, Supta Padangusthasana 1. Move the bulk of the thigh away from you. Open the back of your leg. Okay, now going from Supta Padangusthasana 1 to Supta Padangusthasana 2. You hold the strap with one hand here, and then anchor down into your right side as you extend your leg over to the left side. Okay? And again, pull the toes towards you, move the thigh away from you. So for me, it's towards the wall here, in that direction, right? And then once you've opened the back of the leg, maybe you can extend the toes a little bit away again, right? The toe mounts. So can you lengthen both the front of the leg, back of the leg? Okay, roll your abdomen back to the right and check in with that right leg. What's happening to the back of the thigh? Deflate. Can you get some contact there? All right, and then raise the leg back up and lower the leg down. Okay, Supta Tadasana one more time. Knees down, thighs down. Broaden the back of your legs. And see what's up. Right? Are you getting maybe a little glimpse, a little bit of contact in an area that didn't have contact before? Are you getting a little bit of alertness, sensitivity, maybe a new vibration that's worth noting? Okay, check in. Let's go next into a couple of forward bends. Okay, so Janu Shirshasana, begin with your right leg straight and your left leg bent. Okay, so you're going to take it in here like so. If you're working with the hyperextension, again, you can place the pad underneath your knee. And I want that same principle here for the straight leg that we've been touching base with throughout the practice. So again, flex your foot, let the heel come off, press the knee down, four corners of the knee, the inner edge, outer edge, press the thigh down, and then keeping this openness through the back of the leg, reach into the heel and start to lower the heel down even further than it was before. Try not to let this pop up. Okay, now on your bent leg, knee goes back, but let the buttock flesh come forward. Raise your arms up, exhale, go forward, pull yourself forward, right? Concave your back. So that sacrum, lower back, move it up and into the body. Okay, you can take your left hand, reach for the right side of your leg there, and turn yourself towards your straight leg. Really pull everything along with you. Okay, then hold again with two hands, bend your elbows out to the side, lift your elbows up, and pull yourself forward. Okay, head down. You can rest your head on your leg, or if it's not touching anything, take some height. Right, and same idea, okay? So give yourself some support for the head, okay? But now what I'd like for you to focus on is on that straight leg. So notice if the thigh has popped up, and if you need to repeat those actions in that leg, you can go again, right? Lift the heel, extend, knee down, thigh down, reach into the heel, and then try to lower it down further forward, but don't let the knee pop up. Don't let that right leg bend. Now you have here the benefit of your own body weight, yes? And so maybe that's gonna help you like a weight to press that thigh down, right? See what that does for your cause. Janu Shirshasana. And be in your pose. Okay? Spend some time here. See what your breath is like. And what's happening in your brain. Right? Forward bends can have quite a very specific impact. Okay? See how you respond. Check in with your leg again. Open the back of the knee. Straighten it for real. Okay, and then release. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Dandasana. And change sides. Okay, bend the right leg. And then from here, raise the arms up. Exhale, go forward, concave your back. Okay, pull forward. Okay, turn towards your straight leg here. You can reach over, hold the small toe edge of your foot, pull forward. More, and then hold with two arms, two hands, bend the elbows, and lengthen yourself down your leg. Okay, and again, head supported, either on your leg or on the bolster. Okay, and see what's going on with your leg here. Okay, if you need to, you can flex the foot, reach, lower it down, further forward, don't let it bend. Right, I can catch for myself right when I start to lift. Right, so what do you have to do to communicate with the part of the leg that really wants to lift up, that floats? Press down. Why are those cells harder to communicate with than other areas in the body? Okay, take the gift of your own body weight here on your extended leg and deflate your thigh. Take a few more breaths. Okay, and then come up. Straighten both legs. And go next for Padangusthasana. Okay, now I likely should have said earlier, but of course you can always sit up on height. So you can sit up on some blankets. You can use that technique that I showed earlier about sitting right at the front edge of the blankets if you found that useful. Okay, and then Padangusthasana, either head on the legs, head on the bolster. Lift, exhale, and come forward. Straighten your legs. Okay, and as I said before, the instruction of straighten your leg, I hope, triggers a whole bunch of, mini movements or nuances, subtleties for you today. Okay, work through some of those nuances. And then find that point, that place where you embrace your Padangusthasana, right? So you're going to finesse based on what you see, what you feel, your observations, okay? Or you respond to that. But then you come to a place where you're just there. So just be in your pose. Give your cells the chance to absorb this asana and to allow the teachings of this particular practice to penetrate a little more deeply in. Stay with your breath and allow each exhalation to take you more deeply inward.